Welcome in and thank you for joining us on this episode of Varsity Vibe. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange, and it's great to be with you. And as always, share another conversation as we get ready for football season. There's been a lot of head coaching changes around the state in the sport, and a lot of new guys taking over programs, looking to have some success and, see what happens in this upcoming 2026 season. One of those teams is Rogers Heritage. Over the last 4 years, they're 5-35 overall and just 2 wins in the 7A West. But new head coach Max Washausen has a different idea. Coming over most recently as the offensive coordinator from Prairie Grove, he's excited to turn around this War Eagles program and help them get back to their winning ways. I hope you enjoy this conversation with new Heritage head coach Max Washausen. Well, Coach, really excited to have you join us here on Varsity Vibe. And first and foremost, congratulations on taking over the Rogers Heritage program. Let's start there and talk me through that process when it came to the hiring process and why you felt like you were the guy to kind of step in and help Heritage get back to playing some good football.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a perfect fit, so to speak, when I met with the Heritage administration. We're all on the same page. We all kind of agree that we need to be different at Heritage. We need to do different things. And kind of my background, as far as my coaching background, I felt like it fit every one of the needs of the school and the football program. And we've kind of all agreed on that. That's what's been so exciting about this first couple months is we're all aligned and we're ready to build a program.
And it's kind of full circle for you. You were a student assistant at Heritage way back in the day. How much has changed since then?
Yeah, a lot has changed, but a lot has been the same. I was a graduate assistant. I was going to the University of Arkansas in 2008. The school just opened up. And so I got to see that process on how to kind of build a program that way, just kind of starting from scratch. That very first year in 2008, there wasn't a senior class. So the school played a football season without a senior class. I got to be a part of that. I got to hire back a coach, Jason Upton. That was the O-line coach back then. And I hired him on this year as well. And so as part of hiring my staff, I got to hire somebody that I worked with back then.
Yeah, that's great. And so when you stepped in and when you got the news, do you remember that phone call and kind of, what that feeling was like knowing you were about to take over this program?
It was super exciting. Yeah, I can go back to the exact moment. And it was just, I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but I was ready. I'm ready for the challenge. And I was excited for the opportunity. And so just pure excitement and just eagerness to get going.
Okay, let's talk about the challenge. It's the 7A West that continues to get better. It's a division that adds Shiloh. And for you guys, like you talk about, it's going to be a process. Everyone wants this, microwave atmosphere that we live in right now, that everyone wants to be good and they want to be good in a hurry. But for you, really laying that foundation, how important was it to establish a culture and a foundation to build upon once you got there?
Yeah, it was huge. I think we have been talking about what it takes to be successful, doing all those things, what it takes to be successful, and those will lead to wins. So I haven't been talking about winning at all. I've been talking about all the little intangibles, doing the right things, doing your best, treating people that way you want to be treated, getting a little bit better every single day, being different, being uncommon. I mean, those are just kind of things that we have talked about as a group. Coaching staff, players, administration, and the kids are actually very hungry to be successful. And they've really bought into those things that I think we all know that we have to do those things to kind of change the path of how everything's been going.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the buy-in, about the culture. Where have you seen these guys really embrace your message?
Yeah, and I'm going to start with the senior class. There's about 20 of them. And they're all in. They just want to be successful. And, I think that starts with I got to take over right after spring break, putting in the new offensive philosophy, asking them to come in on early mornings during the school year when we finished up the school year, have them come in at 6:30, put in extra work. coming in this summer, doing the things that need the camps we're going to. They've just really embraced it.
Mm-hmm. When you look at the camps and stuff, I know that's so much self-guided with these kids and with the players. And do you feel like there's a level of excitement to really, put in the extra work because of this new era?
Yes, absolutely. I got to take them to Pittsburgh State University first week of June. It's a camp that I've gone to at other schools, and it's an all-day event. It's a padded camp, uppers camp, with Pittsburgh State University, with schools from Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, going against some of the best competition there is. And like I said, it's an all-day thing. You're getting tons of reps at a university level, and the kids loved it. They were excited about it, and it's an experience they'll remember forever.
Sure. Yeah, and it's a team bonding experience as well. So you come from Prairie Grove, and everything that I've read, just as the offensive coordinator, great offensive mind, help put up offensive numbers. If I were to ask you kind of how you would describe your offensive philosophy, how would you do that?
Yeah, it's a multi-formation wing T offense. It's really built off of multi-formations, shifting, motioning, maybe looking a certain way, but then shifting and running something else. So it's very multiple. Everybody thinks of the run game, which we are. We're trying to get really good at the run game, but we're able to play action pass off of it, shift and motion, give the defense lots of different looks. Throughout my career, I've coached both sides of the ball. And so I know as a defensive coach, if the picture is different every time, I'm always talking about alignment, assignment, and play hard on defense. Well, a lot of those things, the picture is going to be different. It's hard to see the alignment's going to be different. Their assignment, they're not going to be keyed up exactly what they're supposed to be looking at because it's going to move. And so from that point, we're going to get really good at a core amount of run plays and a core amount of pass plays, and we're going to do it at a 40 or 50 different looks.
What do you think
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you think the biggest thing there to take that offense, from Prairie Grove, where you were in the 4A to now in the 7A West, maybe the biggest difference because of the division level and the conference level?
Yeah, so the biggest difference, you're going to see that at the 7A level, every school is going to have 11 guys that only play defense, 11 guys that only play offense. So that means the defensive side of the ball is going to have more time to scout you up, get a technique ready to go, and get a plan ready for you, compared to at the smaller levels, guys are playing both ways. So you're limited in your practice time of getting maybe – at the 4A, 5A level, the defense may be a kid that's going to get 20 minutes of defensive practice time because he's playing offense and playing special teams, compared to at the 7A level, they're going to get 2 hours a day to get ready for that week against us.
Yeah. Take me back now. When did you know that you wanted to coach football?
When I was a senior, when I was in high school. I got to coach with Hall of Fame coach Danny Absher at Prairie Grove. And so I knew when I was in high school, honestly, I knew I wanted to be a head coach at the high school level about the time I was in high school.
Yeah. And so to follow that dream and to now see it come to fruition at Heritage, what are you most excited about?
The challenge, and to be building something from the ground up. That's what we've been telling the kids. We're going to be builders. We can do something special, and we can kind of put our name on it. I think, what we're trying to accomplish, we've been telling them, it's a difficult task, but not everybody can do it, but we're up to the challenge.
Yeah. What's next? What are next steps as you guys get closer to August and the fall and the season starting?
Yeah, so when we get back from dead period, we have some 7-on-7s set up, a couple more team camps, and then, of course, fall camp starts in August, and then we open up with a scrimmage against Harrison on the 18th, and then our first non-conference game is on the 28th. So it's going to be here before you know it.
It always is. It always, it's already July, believe it or not. So
Yeah.
close, in about 7 days. So it's right around the corner. But Coach, congratulations. I know you wear that H on your chest with pride. And I know
Yeah.
that Heritage is going to have a lot of things to prove this upcoming season. I'm excited to see what you guys do with it.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Varsity Vibe. I really enjoyed that conversation with Coach Washausen, and I hope that you did too. And I always encourage you to go follow us along on our social media platforms. That is Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Got such great content over there for you. Even though it's the summer, things are still happening, and we want to make sure that you stay in the know with it all. And speaking of that, sign up for our newsletter at varsityvibearkansas.com. That comes to your inbox twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays, and also helps keep you in the know with everything happening in high school athletics around the state. Also, subscribe to our YouTube page and wherever you get your podcasts. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange, and I will see you next time.